Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the Collider Games podcast. My name is Dennis Den. I'm in studio with...
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Dorian.
Yeah, and we also got on Skype, Caboose. Caboose, how you doing?
Doing good. Still playing a ton of Apex.
Are you no-lifing Apex?
Oh, I am no-lifing. 100%.
That was in one of the comments. Like, how did Caboose know all this stuff? He must be no-lifing it.
Oh, 100%.
Actually, no, they were commenting on... at that time, the game had only been out a few days, and you had already 30 wins, and 300 kills. So they were asking if you're no life in it.
I'm probably coming close to like 100 now, and I have like almost 1,000 kills.
God damn! And I still have 2.
You know.
Yeah. So all right, let's talk about it. I mean, Apex Legends is kind of the hot topic of the moment, right?
Yeah.
It hit 25 million total players, and that was on February 11th. So it's already been a few days since that marker. You know, in the first 3 days, it was 10 million. It's already 25. It's going to keep growing and growing. So
it's probably past 25 at this point too. I mean,
yeah, for sure. It's
going rapid.
Yeah. Well, it's probably in like the 30 something range probably by now. So you're still playing it, right, Caboose?
Yeah.
We've been playing. I mean, I haven't played as much as I wanted to because we have other stuff that we have to do here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just has, at least for me, a more addictive quality to it. What have you been finding in terms of playing it much more than me and Dorian in terms of like replayability, the competition that you're facing? Because Jack says that because he played on his PS3 or PS4, sorry, and he said that he felt like the competitors on the Xbox One were harder to deal with than on PlayStation. So I don't know if that's just an anecdotal thing or it's something that is actually true.
Well, I've played on both PC and Xbox.
Okay.
I've won a few on both. I think what has me continuing to come back is that there's a legitimate skill gap here. You actually have to improve. With a game like Fortnite, yes, you have to learn how to build and all that stuff, but there's so many items in the game now where you just press a button and have the advantage that it almost feels like anyone can kind of jump into Fortnite and be able to take me down regardless of whether or not I'm actually better than them. When it comes to Apex, it all comes down to your skill. You have to know the character that you're playing as. You have to know the character that you're playing against. You have to have better aim. Use your utilities that are at your disposal. There are so many different variables with each fight that you get engaged into that can allow you to win or lose. And then almost every time that I've died, I've never been like, that's the game's fault. You know, I've never been like, oh, come on, that happened in the game, seriously. It's always been like, you know what, that was my fault. Let me assess the situation. This is how I can improve. And that's what continues to keep me coming back to the game. It's that addictive gameplay. The movement is so good. I'm telling you, I will never look at a downward slope in a game for the rest of time and not want to slide down it after playing so much of Apex. It's so much fun. And yeah, the different legends that you can play as, the way that you can get a good team composition, you know, each character's kind of complementing each other. It's awesome. It's so much fun.
So what you're really saying is the reason why me and Dorian suck and keep losing is that we actually suck and keep losing.
Well,
right.
to be fair, I haven't had as much time to play just because I've been focusing on Jump Force. But once, like, let me get this weekend, I'm going to get a bunch of matches under my belt, and I guarantee you by this Monday I will have at least 3 kills this time instead of 2.
3 kills. Okay.
Go.
But no, I'm really excited to like finally dive into this because I have been playing a little bit more Jump Force, but now I can fully devote some time and get through and actually try to level up and play, because this is like Dennis said, this is more my type of battle royale mode versus Fortnite. So I'm excited to finally dive into it more and see like if I'm actually worthy or if I'm actually trash.
So there's gonna be some upcoming player events surrounding Apex Legends. Actually season 1 is starting in March, so this is kind of almost like a testing training period, I guess, before season 1 finally starts. And they're gonna have some challenges already. They already have a Rivals Apex Legend challenge that started on the 12th. Says some Valentine's Day themed loot, I guess, was on for yesterday.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, there's a big problem I'm really starting to see with the cosmetics and the microtransactions in this game.
Okay.
And some people have been pointing this out. Like, thankfully, while there is so much praise for Apex Legends and people are loving the game, nobody is shying away from being honest about how shady the microtransactions in this game are.
And how shady are they?
So let me put an example here. The cheapest bundle of Apex coins you can buy is $10, and that gets you 1,000 coins.
Okay.
You want to guess how much the featured items are in the shop for the game?
800.
1,100. So you have to pay that extra $20 or whatever to get the additional coins.
Yeah, that's some shady stuff.
That's some serious. And you know what? They were selling items that are considered legendary, and then items that are one tier below, but they both cost the exact same amount of Apex coins. So I don't know what's going on with that. You know, at least with Fortnite, yes, they are charging you ridiculous amounts there as well. But there is a system in their currency. A blue item will only cost you 800 coins, whereas a legendary one is 2,000. With this, there's no consistency, and they're just reeling you in to pay that extra little bit of dollars, you know. And apparently Respawn said like EA had nothing to do with much of the development of the game and the microtransactions and anything. I find that really hard to believe.
I'm sure no board members were like, "Hey, how do we squeeze more money out of that game, please, please."
So. Fix it. You know, like I understand we need the cosmetics in the game. We need the microtransactions in the game because it's free to play and there needs to be a way to sustain it to allow them to bring free updates and seasonal stuff. But make it reasonable. You know, I want to spend my money on this game, but make it reasonable for me to do so.
Yeah, well, they ran into me, who's like a old school gamer who doesn't do microtransactions.
I'm a new school gamer and it has to be something I really want to buy something.
Yeah, the most I've ever spent, I think it was maybe like, I forgot what game it was. I maybe spent like $5 to like get like some sort of special suit or costume or something. Yeah. That was probably it. So yeah, it's not that I don't want to contribute, and I know that, look, the game is free, so you got to put in a little bit, but I don't like these shady practices like the one that you mentioned. So I'll buy like one pack maybe once they kind of figure all this stuff out.
Yeah, and apparently too, when you hit level 20, you can earn those Apex packs that they have, right? But when you hit level 20, you start earning them every other level.
Yes.
Then when you get even higher, it's every 2 levels. And based on what I'm hearing, when you hit level 100, you just stop earning them altogether. So I don't know if that's because maybe level 100 is the cap, and then each season they'll reset you like they do with Fortnite. But if not, if you just keep going after level 100, that's a big problem. That means that once I hit level 100, that's it. I have to spend money on your game to earn cool stuff. You know, come on, Respawn. Your game is great. It is so much fun. Just don't ruin it. don't ruin something you have here.
How are you finding the map overall in terms of like size, design? Especially with all the repetition of playing, like, is it diverse enough? At what point are they going to have to change things up?
Well, I think there's going to be multiple maps because the map that actually is in Apex Legends has a name, and you know, whenever a map has a name, that must mean like there's probably going to be multiple. So I'm excited to see if they do have that plan. I think they mentioned that was something that is, you know, in the pipeline. But in terms of the map that we have right now, I actually do like it. Like I said, it's not huge, so it totally works for the 60-player capacity that they have for this game. And what I appreciate a lot about what they did, so every time you load into a match, you'll see that there is a blue ring around one of the areas on the map, and that's considered a hot zone. And it'll always be random. There are also areas on the map that are considered high-tier loot areas that will always be that way. But I love that what this does basically is an area that maybe won't be too populated in a normal match can be very populated if it's the hot zone. So you're always landing in different areas if you're an aggressive player to try and get the best loot in the game, because apparently each hot zone contains a guaranteed legendary item. So I like that. I like the different biomes. There is a little too much sand. I kind of would have liked if there was an area that maybe had some snow or something like that, like a different kind of biome. Because right now, most of the map is just muddy swamps or desert wastelands. So maybe we can get a little more variety in there and change it up a bit. But as of right now, I'm not complaining too much. I think the map is fine.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they are going to have additional maps, then yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Anything else on Apex Legends that you guys want to mention?
I know, Caboose, you dropped a tip and tricks video earlier this week. Do you have any like highlights or like a top tip you want to relate to the listeners now, like just to rehash what you already talked about on that video?
Yeah. So I mean, one of the biggest tips that I actually pointed out in there is something that maybe not a lot of people know, that the character of the Pathfinder has a specific ability where you can go to these beacons around the map and you can find out where the following circle is going to end up. And that gets you like a little bit of an upper edge. You know, if you're more of a defensive player and maybe you want to hide or get looted up and kind of just, you know, take a base, basically, you can use that ability and you'll be 2 circles in, just ready to go, hiding and prepared. So that's a really good tip. Holstering your weapons is a huge one. You know, you can hold the switch weapons button depending on whatever console you're playing on. And when you do that, that puts all your weapons away. And what that allows you to do is it increases your movement speed like a lot. You can run extremely fast when you have your weapons put away. So I would highly recommend that if you're trying to kind of outrun an opponent, or if you're trying to catch up to your teammates, or even if you see a guy, you know he's alone, he's running real fast, that's the way to catch up to him and get him taken down. So that's a big tip. I got some more tips in the hopper that I'm planning to make another video for Collider Games. I don't want to spill the beans right now, but there are a lot of different things you can do in this game, a lot of different ways you can engage into gun battles to help you have the upper hand that I can't wait to show you guys.
Bro, send me that video now. Send me that video as soon as it's ready.
Yeah, Dorian needs some practice this week. I think
you'll get the jump on it.
Yeah, and then we're probably gonna hop on and play some today. We've been twitching some stuff, Jump Force, twitching some Apex.
Yeah, Caboose, weren't you watching?
Yeah, you were watching.
I was watching a little bit of
when Dorian was getting lit up.
It was great. Dorian is a lot of fun to watch.
I might be trash. I might be trash at it, but I make it entertaining.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, speaking of some shady business practices, moving on to the next topic. So, Activision Blizzard just cut 800 jobs, which is I think around 8% of their staff, despite record results in 2018. So, they made a ton of cash, but they laid off 8% of their employee. They said they're deprioritizing initiatives that are not meeting expectations. Despite the CEO, Bobby Kotick, said the 2018 record results, best in our history, but we didn't realize our full potential. I mean,
that's crazy.
Come on, man. I mean, this is crazy. This is look, I just don't understand how this type of stuff keeps happening. Like, where it's like, okay, look, I'm not going to mention any names, but I used to work for a company where the company ended up being sold for millions and millions of dollars, and none of us got any bonuses at the end of the year. Yeah. Zero.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't understand how that, like, oh, well, we didn't do as well as we expected. Well, you can say that for anything. Your company could make billions and billions and all. You'd be like, well, we only made $8 billion this year. We thought we were gonna make 10. Like, really? Like,
yeah.
Look, I understand. Look, you don't want to keep employees or staff that are not doing their jobs or things aren't working. That's fine. But an 8% kind of cut of 800 jobs is not like, here's 800 people that suck at their job. So I don't mind, like, hey, if a division's not working or whatever, but you can also reshift them to other priorities if you have other things. I don't know.
Yeah, his statement's kind of contradictory. It's like, we've had our best year, like we're killing it, but we got to let go of some people. Like y'all y'all work too hard. You did too good of a job.
Yeah,
so
we did good.
Go away.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I saw this. I saw a lot of people online talking about this. What do you think, Caboose?
I think this is an absolute travesty. I cannot wrap my head around it. The first sentence of why this happened is so completely contradictory. It's, while our financial results for 2018 were the best in our history, we didn't realize our full potential. Like, come on. Are you kidding me? Like, what? This is the best we've ever done in the history of the company. But, I mean, it could have been better.
Yeah,
That should be the goal. That should not be the problem. That should be what you're striving towards now. Hey, this is the best we've ever been. Let's just keep aiming higher. We didn't reach what we thought maybe we could, but it's still the record, sales or whatever it might be in history. I cannot believe it. I am so sorry for all the people that lost their jobs. I'm hoping that they find some sort of stability out there. I know a lot of different developers, a lot of different companies have been putting out job listings and everything. So I'm hoping everyone's okay, all the people that were affected. But I cannot believe that this even happened.
Yeah, it
makes
crazy.
No sense.
It's crazy. It's
it makes no sense.
It's like companies have hard enough time keeping their employees when things are maybe breaking even or they're losing money. Yeah. Understandable. Now you're saying, well, we made a ton of money, but we didn't make as much as we wanted, so there we go. I don't know.
I'd be terrified to work there now.
Oh,
because no matter how good they're doing, I could still get fired.
Yeah, if I worked there, I'd be looking for another place to work.
I wonder, the email they got and what the email said was like, sorry for our record-breaking year. Sorry for your hard work. We had a great year, but you got to go, man. I don't know. How do you even present present that to somebody? Is like, you guys did. I don't know. This is infuriating. I'm sorry. Yeah, like Caboose said, I'm sorry for the people that just got this out of nowhere and now they're rushing to look for other jobs and stuff like that. It's not fair. It's like, if you're going to put in the work, put in the hours, especially for all the games that they have, put in the hours and then turn around and a couple months later it's like you get dropped as surprise. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And also they said they'll be focusing more on its biggest franchises: Call of Duty, Candy Crush, Overwatch, Warcraft, Hearthstone, and Diablo, with plans to increase developers across those titles. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. But the problem is the whole reason, too, is you have those franchises, obviously big hits, and you're making money. That usually they take money so they can develop new IP, new properties, and new stuff. That's the
sequels
point of
even.
It. That's the point of it. Not to sit there and be like, okay, well, these are all working, so we're just going to keep working on just these. So, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're successful. Like I said, if you're just breaking even, you're losing money, things got to get changed up or whatever, but not when you're making record-breaking, profit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm a fan of Activision and Blizzard's games. I just, this type of corporate company culture, it's crazy. And it's just happened more recently over, the last 10, 20 years, where it's like people are just getting away with way more shit nowadays.
I saw a lot of interesting headlines about it. Articles are not being shy about how Activision Activision is just effing over people. Just some headlines were just going hard at them. I thought it was funny, but they were being true. So
no, for sure. I totally agree. It's BS, like I said, if I was working at Blizzard right now and I was not one of the higher ups, I would be looking for another job.
Yeah.
Because God forbid we had another record-breaking year in 2019, I could still get fired. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, apparently another article that Dorian sent me said that Activision says Blizzard has no new major games coming in 2019. So they expect the financials to be lower, but that's just Blizzard. That's not Activision as a whole. Just Blizzard. So
because Activision's, I think they still got Call of Duties coming.
Yeah. It's just okay, but I mean,
and even then, I know they're going to still put so much into Overwatch and updates and doing events and stuff for Overwatch. So they're going to be putting a lot into that anyway.
Yeah. Well, and also think about it this way. You have we just had Red Dead Redemption 2 from Rockstar. Yep. How many years did they work on that game? Like 5, 6 years?
8.
8 years. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if it's rumored that, like they said, they were working on.
And when did GTA 5 come out?
2013.
And that was their last game, right?
Yeah.
So from that point on till now, until Red Dead Redemption 2, they hadn't been churning out games. I'm pretty sure they weren't firing people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. They were working on the game, right?
Yeah.
To get the game ready. I don't know. It's a very strange reasoning. Very strange reasoning to me. I don't know how you can explain that one. Like I said,
and a lot of what it comes from, like from a game like GTA, you know, the microtransactions carried that game through the 6 years between that and Red Dead 2. But that is so unheard of. You know, games like Overwatch or whatever, Hearthstone, all those games, nobody's going to be spending microtransactions on them for years and years and years. You know, there's only so many skins you can get. Like with Apex Legends, at least they're going to be constantly coming out with new costumes and stuff. Yeah. But even then, like, how long will it last? Well, before people are kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm really breaking the bank on this game. I'm going to be done spending money now. You know, the whole thing with GTA Online was such a diamond in the rough. You know, you really can't expect that every game is going to be sustainable like that for years and years and years, especially just living off of solely microtransactions, and that's it. So. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. A new trailer, except for instead of just a gameplay trailer or a cutscene trailer or whatever, in-game trailer, it actually was a live-action trailer that Neil Blomkamp of District 9 fame directed, called Conviction. This came out. Did someone put in a question about this?
Yeah. So Victor or Vic the Man at the Man, he asked Left Collider Games, but he said, did you guys see the Anthem short film? What did you think? And what other games would you like to see Blomkamp tackle? Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So if people don't know Neil Blomkamp, who also we mentioned directed District 9.
Chappie.
Chappie. At one time, he was supposed to direct the Halo movies. That was before District 9.
Sad to hear that.
Yeah, and he had done these like Halo little short films that were pretty cool, and then just watching this one too. I'm watching him like, I got like, man, what if he had done the Halo movie? Because I thought this trailer was very well done. Yep. Looked very, very, very cool, and it definitely this is something that's going to sell this game.
Hell yeah! And when it originally dropped, it hit number 2. It was like number 2 trending on YouTube, and still and still currently right now, I think it's at 8 or 9 still at this point. People cannot
number 9 on trending.
Yeah, people cannot get enough of this. It's visually breathtaking. I don't know if you will agree with me, Caboose, but the way it was cut and just the pacing of it all kind of reminded me of like a Infinity War Endgame type esque trailer, and then the big creature like that when we saw him like walking up, it kind of reminded me of Thanos in a way. It was cool. I really liked it.
Oh, I freaking loved this trailer. A lot of it made no sense to me, and I had no idea what was going on for the majority of it. But holy smokes, was I in! I was like, okay, I need the Anthem movie right now, and please, someone at Microsoft, whoever it's got to be, get Neil Blomkamp back on board for that Halo movie. Whoever his VFX company is that's worked on, District 9, Elysium, even Chappie, whatever you think of that movie, the VFX are great. Like, holy smokes, it is some of the best VFX you'll see in movies. It's ridiculous how realistic he makes things look, or that company makes things look. And this trailer was super dope. So this is not like a series.
I don't think so. I think so. I think it's purely just this trailer. It'd be cool if a short film came out of this, but I'm not sure if that's in the works. I think this is just to get people pumped, man.
Is this to promote the story?
Yeah, I think so. I think I think this is to let people know, like, hey, there is story in Anthem, and this is. I think what that trailer is kind of covering, I think, the story before the game. Okay. If I'm understanding correctly. And then you play the game to further along further along the universe.
I bet Netflix is
decades before the events of the game. So
okay.
Yeah, I bet Netflix was sitting over there like, what's this about? I bet they're interested if they're not already. They're like, all right, I can see them trying to do a series out of this or a short film with him. If like they're already tackling 2 video game series, why not add a 3rd one? Especially the reaction that this is getting. Like I would love to see more of this.
Yeah, if The Witcher does well, Resident Evil does well, and this game itself does well, they could be like, let's fund something like this.
Netflix could save live action video game adaptations from the curse that they've been living through.
And he's not going to be involved in anything with the Halo TV series, right?
No. That's it was Rupert Wyatt, which I was excited because he had done Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but now he's out, or he said his schedule didn't work, or what? I don't know. It's one of those projects where it's like, oh my god, just get it going.
Now that he dropped this little short film, what if the Halo people are like, okay, wait, what can we try to get him back? That'd be cool if now that there's nobody in control of it. I could see him using that.
I'd hope so. I think the problem always comes down to is that they just can't nail the script for whatever they're trying to make with this Halo. Like Dennis said, they've been trying to get this off the ground for over a decade. This Halo live action adaptation in some way, shape, or form, a movie, TV show, whatever it might be. They've been working on it since Halo 3. I remember there was even a time where like Peter Jackson was working on something.
Yeah, he was going to produce it, and then that's how he Blomkamp is under his kind of like whatever group or whatever, and so he was like, well, I can't direct it because I'm busy doing all this other stuff, but I got, my little protege here, Neil Blomkamp, and he'll direct Halo. And they signed off on it for a little bit, and then they balked at the amount of money that they wanted to do it right.
Yeah.
And then after that, then he left, and then Blomkamp did District 9. I'm sure had Blomkamp done District 9 beforehand and gotten all the buzz off of that because it was an Oscar-nominated film. And
it would have happened.
Then they probably would have been like, okay, cool. But they didn't really, they're like, who's this kid? We don't know. Can he really do this? It's going to be like over $100 million. Peter Jackson's producing, but he's not directing. So, that fell through.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But this trailer was great. And I'm very excited for Anthem. I think I have like a 10-hour trial that I can play with EA Access, and I think I can play it tonight.
Nice.
So I'm excited to jump in. I want to see what's available to me, if I can play through the story or whatever I can try out. I've been itching to play it again. I mean, thankfully, Apex Legends has come along, so I don't have to just sit here anticipating. But I'm excited. I'm excited for Anthem.
Yeah, I'm wondering like how I'm going to split my time between Anthem and Apex Legends. I mean, I won't know until the full Anthem game comes out and say like, okay, which one's getting more of my attention?
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to a few different topics here that like we've been covering on our Collider Games YouTube channel. If you're just only listening to the podcast, we do have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Collider Games, that we have a lot of. Instead of just the podcast, which we do put up there as well, and you can see all our pretty faces on there, we have like reviews. We just did a Jump Force review, Crackdown 3 review, Apex Legends tips and guides, all that stuff, news videos, all that good stuff. So those, we can't put those on podcasts because no one's listening to those. But if you want to check out that stuff, go on that channel. So let's just start off just a brief overall thoughts. Dorian, you did the Jump Force review.
Yes.
Some people are cracking on you for they're saying you're being too nice to it. Like because you gave it.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of 10, and then people were like, well, it's really a 6 out of 10, and it's not worth 60. It's something. 40. Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
So I personally, and I even said it in my review. I said, don't like, this is my opinion, and I'm just going off of it. So the reason why I gave it 8 out of 10 was just because of the simplicity of the gameplay and the battle style, and because you don't need to know a bunch of buttons or a bunch of different combo moves to activate an ability or anything like that. It's just simple. You can pick it up and play it. It kind of reminded me of like Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, like the old PS2 games with the it's like a blend of those games mixed with the Naruto and the new Dragon Ball Z games, kind of like a mix of between those. Yeah, there were, the cutscenes didn't look super great, but I wasn't even focusing on that, because of course like the main details and the main focus was going to be on the actual gameplay, not the interactions between them and the short cutscenes that you do deal with. So that's why I didn't. Yeah. I think that's why people are factoring a lower score, just because of the cutscenes. Like if you go on social media or Twitter, people are just destroying the cutscenes, trashing it, saying like, is this game even worth it anymore? And I'm like, I'm saying it is. Don't let the simple cutscenes that you're not going to be even involved with affect the gameplay. So I said give it a chance, and that's like the main reason I'm defending it, because the cutscenes, not as good, but the actual gameplay and the mechanics of it I thought were great, and the visuals from each of the characters. And it's a stacked roster also. Like there are some characters from shows I didn't even know about. Now I'm like, all right, and they look cool, their abilities are dope, so it got me interested in going to learn more about that. So that, I think just from that point, I really enjoyed it. It had the nostalgia feel of, oh man, this is dope. I'm over here playing with Goku and he's fighting Naruto. Like these iconic characters I never thought I would see like interacting with each other, are actually having a story, having dialogue, and they're fighting against each other. Like I was fighting Naruto, and I felt bad for John. And I was playing against his son. Like I was whooping his ass, and it was cool though. But it was just a fun time. So I had a great time with that. That's why I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, and on the flip side, with the Crackdown 3 review, Caboose, you're getting some flack for not liking it as much as other people.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing, actually. So right now on Metacritic, I think Crackdown 3 is at like a 60, around that area. I gave it a higher review than what it currently is on Metacritic. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and I'll tell you why, okay? A lot of what I don't like about Crackdown 3 is kind of what Crackdown really is all about, all right? I've played Crackdown 1 and 2. When I was younger, I enjoyed the hell out of those games. It's just, especially when you boot up Crackdown 3 for the first time and you're playing through like the first 20 minutes, trust me, you're going to be like, okay, this is going to be amazing. You get this incredible cutscene with Terry Crews, and he's like hyping up his crew, getting ready to go into battle, and it sets you on this path of revenge after something goes wrong. And right from that moment, I was like, oh my God, this might be really freaking awesome, mixed in with already what makes Crackdown 3 or what makes Crackdown as a franchise a good game, you know? Just the fun of going, mowing down enemies, upgrading your abilities and everything like that. But after that opening cutscene, the rest of the game, it basically just feels like you're playing through side missions. And you know what? I still had fun. I still put in a good amount of hours. The multiplayer is a mess. It's nothing like what they originally showed off back in 2015, and there's no progression system. You can't even invite your friends to play with you, although that is apparently a feature that's on its way. I don't know why that isn't in the game from the jump, but I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, all that said, there is a feature on Xbox, Dorian, you know about it, called Game Pass, where it's $10 a month, and you get like a ton. It's basically Netflix for games, right? And Crackdown 3 is on the Game Pass. So if you want to try it out, it's $10 to play the game for a month. And after that month, you'll have beaten the story. You'll have probably maxed out your character and done everything that you really need to experience in the game. So if you want to cancel your subscription after that, that's it. So that's why I gave it a 7 out of 10. That's why I kind of gave it a pass, because you don't have to pay the full price of the game. You know, if you want to just pay $10, you have the full game. And that's that. If you want to play it for an extra month, maybe you're not done with it yet, just renew your subscription to Game Pass. Trust me, it's a damn good service. You get a ton of games available for you through that service. And the fact that Crackdown 3 is on there, a brand new game that's coming out at launch on the Game Pass, is great. So, I mean, yeah, I have some problems with the game. Yeah, I don't think it's as good as I think it could have been and what the potential of the game could have been. But for $10, you really can't go wrong, honestly. So people misinterpreted a little bit of what I was saying in my review because I still had to point out my negatives, and I did have quite a few. But at the end of the day, I still gave it a 7 out of 10. I still said that it was worth trying out, especially since you can only pick it up for as low as $10.
Also, there's been a bunch of Mortal Kombat kind of reveals. Yes. What came out this week?
We had a brand new character reveal with Jade. She is returning to Mortal Kombat 11. She was missing in MKX, and we got to see her trailer. We got to see her gameplay, a little bit of her gear styles, and then of course her fatality, which I thought was pretty fun. And she looks like a cool character. I like what they're doing with so there's a lot of characters in Mortal Kombat 9. If anyone played through the story, there was a lot of characters that died. Specifically, there was one cutscene where like 10 characters get killed off. And they come back technically as these zombified versions of themselves. And I like that they're keeping that continuity. So Jade dies in Mortal Kombat 9 and she's back in MK11, but she's not just normal Jade. She is the zombified revenant version of her, as they call it in this universe. So I thought that was cool that they're keeping that continuity, but also considering that there's time travel and stuff that's going to be taking place in the story mode of the game, you can get a normal non-revenant version of the character through the customization. So that's cool. And yeah, she looks like a fun character. She looks fast. She's got this cool staff, and I'm excited. I'm excited to try her out.
Okay, cool. And Nintendo Direct. What kind of news have been coming out from there?
Oh, so
go ahead.
No, I was going to pass it to you. The main thing was the Marvel Alliance 3. Yeah. And
yeah. So that's right. We got a new trailer for Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I think they showed a bit of Joker from Persona 5 for Smash Ultimate as well. But yeah, the main thing definitely that I was excited to see was that they showed a new trailer for Marvel Ultimate Alliance. They revealed that Captain Marvel was going to be in the game. Obviously, that kind of is like a cross promotion with the movie that's coming out next month. So that was pretty cool. And then they gave us a glimpse at some other characters. Like they showed Storm, they showed Iron Fist, and we saw Venom, not playable, but they showed Venom. So I'm assuming he might be playable. And I said in the video that I made covering it on the channel, but I'll reiterate again, I was really excited to see Storm specifically because it means that they're actually going to be using quite a few X-Men characters in this game. You know, I was thinking, oh, they're probably just going to go with Wolverine and that's it. But no, it looks like they're not doing what they did with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, where they just exclusively use MCU characters. They're branching out a little bit here with this game, especially obviously because, you know, they're going to get the rights to the Fox characters anyways. So we're getting X-Men characters. There was a whole mission they were showing off where you were fighting against Sentinels and stuff, which looked awesome. And the game just looks like a ton of fun. A lot of people are a little sour on it because it's a Nintendo exclusive and, you know, it doesn't look kind of up to date with the graphics of the games that we have with this generation. But it looks fun. It looks enjoyable. It looks like a good time. You can play online co-op if you want to. So I don't know. I'm excited. I think the only thing that bums me out that they did confirm is that this game is 100% completely a brand new story. It's not connected to the first two games at all. So that's the only thing that kind of bums me out. But besides that, I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's funny how you touched on how they're using more X-Men, and now it's like, all right, we can start giving them some promotion now that we have the rights back. We're not gonna give them
like before.
Yeah, give them free promo beforehand. But now that we're getting the rights back, we'll start showing them some love.
We'll throw them in there. Yeah,
that's fine.
I hope we get some villains as well, and then also. Whereas previously we only knew it was coming out in just 2019, the new trailer for Nintendo Direct did narrow it down. It's coming out in the summer of 2019. So should be, you know, within the next few months, we'll probably get an exact release date. But at the latest August, it'll be in our hands.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. This isn't a bit of news. This is just to let people know that both me and Caboose's game of the year last year, Red Dead Redemption 2 is on sale right now. I think Take-Two is having a general kind of sale. I don't know how long it's going to last, but right now you can get the game on Xbox One or PlayStation 4 for $40, $39.99. It's on.
It's not bad at all.
I just checked because it started a few days ago, and I wanted to see how long it would last. Was it a one-day sale? As of right now, as we're taping here on Friday, it's still on sale on Amazon. So that's a great price. I wouldn't have waited till this time to save $20. I would have wanted to, play the game and everything. Yeah. Especially because considering how long it is, so you have to put in the work. But if you haven't played it yet and you're interested, but maybe it was you hadn't saved all the money, now's the time to buy it. $40.
Where was this when I was trying to buy it?
Well, how many hours have you put in so far?
I haven't put in enough hours. I could have
you could have saved.
Could have just saved, but it's all good. I'm
$20. Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
I'm still gonna play it.
All right. Yep. So let's move on to Twitter questions.
All right. So
what do we got doing?
So the first one is from Steven Stills at Evil Genius. He asks, "Do you guys think that the battle royale bubble will eventually burst?"
Yes, but I mean that's everything. I mean, movies, television, video games all have trends. There's something that's very, very popular for a good amount of time, and then eventually it becomes less popular, and then something else comes along. I mean, back in the day, the action platformer was, the Marios, the Sonics, those were like the big deals, and that's when we were in like 2D. For a time, fighting games, the whole like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat was like the biggest thing for a while, and then we got into, I don't know, RTS, and then we had the first-person shooter era, and so right now we're in the battle royale phase. I don't know; it still could last for years and years and years. I'm just saying we're in that trend right now, and eventually it will be something else.
Yeah, something. Yeah. What about you, Caboose?
Yeah, no, I agree with Dennis. That's just the trend right now. It's going to be different. I'm sure 5 years from now things are going to be very different, but that's just how it is right now. So, just let's ride the wave.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. We're getting free to play games out of it. A AAA title like Apex Legends, like Fortnite are completely and entirely free to play. That is you tell me that 5 years ago, like, hey, you're going to get a pretty awesome game for free. I'd be like, yeah, okay, come on, stop kidding yourself. I'm probably going to have to pay like $1,000 for it, So I think it's awesome. I think it's just fine. And I'm sure down the line, things are going to start to change. Things are going to start to shift. And you know what? Yeah, we're having this wave of Battle Royale games, but there are still plenty of awesome single-player games coming out,
Yeah.
We've had God of War. We've had Spider-Man. We've had Red Dead 2. So, and we just had Resident Evil 2, that remake. So... yeah, I mean, I agree with what Dennis said. Basically.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s, it was like on the PC, it was action-adventure games. Actually, not even action, adventure games where you're literally Police Quest, Space Quest, King's Quest, Gabriel Knight, like those types where you walk around a character and he interacts with stuff and he picks up, you know what I mean? Like that's, they used to type, used to like pick up blah, blah, blah. Take thing to, like, you would move your character around, but then like when you see an object you literally type it, and then later they changed it so you could use the mouse to interact and whatnot. I don't know, it's all evolution. So
all right, next question is from Mario PR05. He asks, any big movie franchises you think deserve to have a video game based on their movies that you absolutely love?
Wait.
So movie franchise.
Yeah, movie franchise
that you want a video game.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That one's tough. I mean, I would have liked, it's not a movie, but like, I mean, Game of Thrones had the Telltale game. They had this other game before, but they actually made like a full-on like open world action RPG.
There was rumor that there was going to be a Game of Thrones game in the works a while back, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a rumor that Bethesda was going to do a Game of Thrones using kind of the engine that they had, kind of like
did that rumor get killed, or is it still kind of just
I think it
got
killed.
Okay.
But that was a rumor for a while that they were going to use their engine and their gameplay mechanics similar like they did in Skyrim and do a Game of Thrones game. But I'd take that, or I'd take a Red Dead, Mass Effect, Assassin's Creed third person as well. Whatever. Yeah. Just as long as it's like AAA quality and whatnot.
So the question is about, we want a movie or TV show to be adapted into a game, not the other way around.
Yes.
No, yeah, movie to video game.
A movie to a video game. I mean, yeah. So first of all, Game of Thrones for sure. I love Game of Thrones.
Bro, that's not a movie.
I know it's not a movie.
Yeah.
It's just close though. Okay,
it's close enough.
We're right about there.
right there.
Maybe Lord of the Rings, although we technically have we have Shadow of War, so I guess that counts. Would it be funny to say something like Star Wars? Like, can we get an actual Star Wars game soon, please? That would be pretty cool.
Just trying to think of what other franchises.
And I mean, like, there's a million other Marvel movies out there that could totally work as a superhero game that I would love to see. But yeah, I'm trying to think, like, overall, what's a cool franchise that hasn't already?
Yeah, because like even Aliens had a video game adaptation.
So for mine, I would probably pick it's not a franchise, it's just off of a movie, but it has books based off of it. So mine would be I Am Number 4. I think you can make a really cool video game out of that. Okay. And then the other one, god damn it, what was it? Okay, so I Am Number 4. Oh, and Jumper, the movie Jumper where you like teleport. But in the books, he can also like time travel using his teleportation and stuff. So
nice.
I feel like you could do a lot of stuff. And there's a YouTube Red series that kind of is attached to the world. It follows it. It's called Impulse. So I think you can make a good video game out of that.
Yeah, and we've had James Bond has had a video game or several video games. I'm just trying to think of what other big franchises haven't tried to milk into a video game franchise that would work.
I can't think of it.
I'm sure there's a ton. I'm just trying to think of. I'm trying to find that place where it's like action heavy, not too serious, because then you kind of get into that realm where it's like, well,
right. Yeah, you need kind of the sci-fis or the big action, the blockbusters, because those are the ones that work the best. Maybe even like something like Avatar.
You're not having like the favorite video game. You know?
Right. Yeah. We're not gonna have a video game on like Schindler's List or something.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's tricky.
Back to the Future video. Is there a Back to the Future video?
Telltale. There's a Telltale game.
Okay.
But I think it would be pretty cool to have like Telltale games are cool, but they're always point and click kind of,
Yeah, so, they're interactive storytelling to me.
Right. A Big Lebowski video game would be dope.
There you go.
I'm just naming movies I've recently seen now.
Ghostbusters even has a video game. I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I can't remember which console, but we still got to hit that VR, that Void VR.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. This is an easy one. I already know Caboose's answer.
Okay.
Jason Lawrence asked, if you could play only Jump Force or MK, which would you choose?
Yeah, you know my answer.
MK.
Mortal Kombat.
I've already played Jump Force, so I got to go with MK as well. But if I hadn't played Jump Force and I had to pick between the two, it would be MK11 as well.
Okay.
If I was like a super fan of anime and stuff, if I watched a lot of the different animes of the characters that are in that game, I'd probably pick Jump Force. But just because I've grown up on the Mortal Kombat franchise and I'm so familiar with it, I would pick MK.
Gotcha. All right. Yep. The real Mikey asked, the BioWare executives who produced Anthem and Dragon Rage said that they are definitely not done with Mass Effect. Are you hoping to see more Mass Effect or more Dragon Age games in the future? And do you think either will get made?
Yeah, both will get made. I mean, I like both franchises. I prefer Mass Effect over Dragon Age, but Dragon Age Inquisition actually... because the second one I played a little bit of and I couldn't get into it, so I never went further with it. I liked the first one, but the third one was my favorite out of the whole franchise. But I think we're going to see both. I like both. So, yeah, definitely. They're not going to throw away these franchises. I mean, Anthem is their first IP in a while, so yeah. Let's they're going to focus on that for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I totally agree.
All right, cool. And we next question is Luke Hancock asks, the amount of content on Odyssey season pass is insane. So with this has there been a season pass in the past that you guys enjoyed or were more than happy to buy it?
I'll be honest, I have not bought any season passes. I buy DLCs one at a time, and sometimes I buy. Like Fallout 3, I bought like every single DLC that they had. I was obsessed with the game, and the quality of them were varied, right? And it's weird. You're paying like $10-15, and then sometimes they're giving you this great experience, and it's like totally worth the $15. And then sometimes you play one, and you're like, I just paid how much to play this for like 2 hours? You know what I mean? So season pass stuff is, I know you get a discount or whatever if you compared to buying all of them, but I'm not so much a season pass purchaser.
Same. What about you, Caboose?
I mean, yeah, I don't really buy a lot of season passes. I think in recent memory, the one that I enjoyed, although some people, I got a lot of flack for this back in the day, was the Arkham Knight season pass. Because with that, you got like a bunch of different Batmobiles, you know, a bunch of different costumes, different maps, challenge maps to play on. And then it all kind of concluded with this big story expansion where they had like 4 new villains and stuff that you face off against in these missions. So I really liked Arkham Knight Season Pass, especially it came like there were so many surprises. You know, they brought us the Tim Burton, you know, Batsuit and Batmobile that you can like free roam around with. They even brought that was like, I remember Batman v Superman was kind of right around the corner when that game was coming out. And I was like, I was tweeting out back then. I was like, you know, it's never going to happen, but how cool would it be if they got the Batsuit and the Batmobile from Batman vs Superman in Arkham Knight? And they did it. Like, they actually put it in the game, which was so freaking cool. And then, yeah, they had the Season of Infamy where I think you faced off against, if I'm remembering correctly, it was Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Ra's al Ghul, and the Mad Hatter. And they were all like 4 different side missions that you run through and learn a little bit more about where these characters have been since Arkham City. So that was the one, like, in recent memory that I had a lot of fun with, that I thought was super cool, especially because of the different Batmobiles that you can get and everything.
Gotcha. That's pretty much all of our questions.
Cool.
Okay, before we sign off, is there anything you guys want to talk about in terms of any games that you're playing right now or going to play, or any issues or things you want to praise?
No, I just want to, again, I really enjoy Jump Force, and I plan on I plan on playing it more. And the reason why is because I really enjoyed the one thing is you have your own character. I have my own dude. He has a Mike Tyson tattoo. I got my own afro, and he looks sick. And you can keep building him up and trying to get him to the level of like these other, like Goku and all these other strong characters, and you can use their same moves and all of that. So I plan on really trying to unlock all the super moves and unlock everything with his character. But my next focus, like, that's going to be put on the back burner and become secondary. But now my main focus, until we have like another big game, is trying to get on Apex and try to get on Caboose's level. It's a unattainable goal, but I'm going to try.
We had Lennox Lewis in the office, in the studio, for Collider Sports. Roca did a good like 45-minute interview with him, but we also got him to play the Creed VR boxing game. Nice. So if you guys want to be on the lookout for that, check that out. I don't know if it's going to be either on the main channel or the Collider Games channel or the sports channel, but I'm sure like by the time you listen to this, it'll be up on one of those. Just type in Lennox Lewis VR boxing Creed or something like that. Yeah, you'll find it. It was fun just to see, like, you know, a legend of boxing, kind of playing the game and like telling us, hey, what his thoughts on it or whatnot. And he was a cool guy.
It'll be also on our it's going
social,
natively on our Facebook and our Twitter Collider video. So make sure to check it out there as well. Roca almost got jawed in the face.
Yeah, that was the best part. That was my favorite part of the video. He was about to go to the hospital. We're going to take him.
That would have been a great ending to the video.
Yeah,
that would have been perfect.
Yeah. Wow. Anything for you, Caboose?
Yeah, I'm just going to be playing a lot more Apex. You know, we got Anthem right around the corner. There's a lot of games coming out in these next couple of weeks, and I'm going to do my absolute best to stay on top of it for you guys here at Collider Games watching. So stay tuned. You know, we got the Division 2 coming up. Like I said, we got Anthem. Lot of fun stuff coming, you know, and then E3 is right around the corner, just a few months away.
Oh man!
So yeah, very exciting things coming for Collider Games. But right now, I think my top 2 priorities is Apex Legends and Anthem.
Yeah, man, you reminded me. I'm like, okay, a few months, and then we got WonderCon's coming up, Star Wars Celebrations coming up. Oh, Comic-Con. So much stuff.
It feels like we were just there last year.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a whirlwind.
So before we go, Caboose, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CabooseEK, and right here on the Collider Games channel.
Dorian?
You guys already know the deal. You can find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec because Parks and Rec is better than The Office, but you can also find me on Instagram at Dorian Parks. Watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, Instagram, Dennis.tzng. As we mentioned before, if you're watching on YouTube, that we have this on our podcast feed, our Collider Factory podcast feed that you can subscribe to. We also have feeds for all our other shows like Movie Talk, Jedi Council, Heroes, and Sports, TV Talk as well. Also, if you're listening to the podcast feed and haven't seen the videos, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ColliderGames, and you can check out some more other stuff besides the podcast, reviews, news, guides, and all that good stuff. So until next time, see you guys later.